In this video, I'm going to show you guys step by step my story, all the way from childhood into starting my first marketing agency, my coaching businesses, shutting them down, becoming a sales rep, to launching the business that we run now, and even recap some of the time that I just shared with Alex Hormozi at the Skool Games. I hope this really just encourages you and shows you guys that, hey, I'm just a normal human. I didn't do anything special, and all of the stuff that we've achieved is available to you too. This is how I went from the guy on the left being addicted to alcohol, extremely insecure, and really having just a horrible relationship with money because I didn't have much of it. And I was trying to make money and really just had a horrible lust for money in that season, knowing that I was called by God, but not able to, really receive all the plans that He had for me too. The guy on the right that you know now, who is running a successful online coaching business and walking in some of the promises that God gave me. So before we go too far into this, I want to start from the beginning. I grew up at this spot actually right behind me in this picture. Down this road here was a long driveway, and my parents, they were amazing at the time. My mom and stepdad, they did the best they could. And I was about 12 to 13 when we lived here, just getting into high school. And we had a great family. We never had too much money because my stepdad had an injury on his leg where he lost his job, and then my parents, went back and forth on drugs. But they really did the best they could. But it definitely caused a lot of things for me with limiting beliefs around money, not knowing how I was going to make it in life, and just my parents being in and out of jail, really at an early age caused a lot of issues, if you will, for me. However, I ended up moving in with my grandparents, with my dad, and things got better. But we'll dive further into that. So I was in high school, right? One of my friends at the time in high school was a super successful entrepreneur. We'd go to their house, they'd have Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Porsches, helicopters, like all this crazy stuff. And it created this drive in me of like, dude, I'm not going to live how I grew up. I'm going to have a business. So I had like all these crazy ideas. I was drop shipping. What would Jesus do bracelets? I think I spent $10 on ads to sell like a $5 bracelet, and then realized I lost $5 and shut it all down. I started a pool cleaning company called Pool Doctor. At the time, my grandpa gave me $4,000, and then went through a really bad time in the hospital where he had a heart attack. And honestly, I was just in a horrible place emotionally, and I was drinking, and the business really went to crap just because I had no character to withstand it. I started drop shipping clothes on Printful at a clothing brand. I grew up loving to play guitar, so I'd buy and resell guitars. Here you can see me editing one of my financial coaching websites while my brother-in-law was getting a tattoo. So nonetheless, I'm just wanting to show you, like, I had all these different ideas, and I tried so many different things online to make money. So at 18, right, I was kind of all over the place. I grew up in church, but I never really fully surrendered to God until 18. I had an encounter with the Lord, and I knew there was a call of God on my life to really preach the gospel and to surrender everything to Him. So, as you can see on the left there, my grandma, 459 weeks ago, posted a picture of me. All moved into this building you see here, Christ for the Nations, and I went to Bible college, and that was really an incredible season for me. I got to know the Lord super well, and during that season, though, I basically walked through a bunch of different things, got into uh, just this like funk where I was like, dude, I didn't get to live my life. I want to go back into the world. And it was super selfish. It was fueled by insecurity, by money. A couple of my Bible college, roommates left and went back, and they were like partying during the summer. And I was like, dude, I'm just going to go back into it. I started drinking. I started smoking. Was really just selfish, like in a horrible place. I knew the Lord had plans for me, but I ran back into the world. I got into a bunch of debt, financed stupid cars, started drinking again, partying. My mom was, in and out of jail. And honestly, I just had so many things going wrong in my life at the time, or so I thought, that I started to be selfish and not give God glory or thanks or anything like that. And this went on for about 2 to 3 years. Just a bad season where I wasn't, in church fully. I was just a complete hypocrite. Like if I'd see people from Bible college, I would act like everything's fine, but behind closed doors, I was drinking, smoking, still pursuing different like business things that were never working. And I remember I was more mature at this point. I was probably 21, 22, whatever it was. And this picture here is me getting absolutely wrecked by the Lord. I went to this church service, and I've been listening to Pastor Dustin for a long time, and I realized, like, man, I've got to get my life right. Like the life I'm living is not right. I know God has a plan for me. I'm sick of being a pansy, selfish, insecure. Everything in my life was about me. It was all about Brandon. How can I make more money? How can I, do X, Y, and Z? So I went to this church service. Pastor Dustin called me to the front and prayed over me, and my life really was never the same. Okay. I quit everything I was doing. I moved 45 minutes to go intern at this church for about a year and a half. I was waiting tables, I was cleaning pools just to make money. And Sarah and I were about to get married. I had probably $30,000, $40,000 worth of debt. At any given time, I only had 200 to 500 bucks in my bank account, but I was like fully surrendered to the Lord. I was like, Lord, you can do whatever you want to do with me in this season. So I started serving in the youth group, and I met one of the youth students at this church, and his mom just so happened to be the owner of the life coach school. Okay, this is where I got a job at the life coach school. At first, it was part time. As you can see, I made 390 bucks in a week, and at the time, I was like, "Wow, like this is great money." I worked maybe 10 hours for that money, 20 hours, something like that. And slowly but surely, over about a year's time, I got moved up into being the shipping and logistics coordinator for the life coach school. And these boxes here are literally boxes that we would ship, these bigger boxes, to all of the CC P members, people that became certified coaches, right? And these people all paid $25,000 to become a certified coach, and then we would ship them this box. And all of these people over here paid $297 a month, and every month they would get an envelope. As you can see, there are a ton of envelopes, about 3,500 to 4,000 any given month. And people over here, a lot of boxes paying 25K, right? So it really expanded my thinking on money, just being around Brooke, the culture there. And it made me realize, like, hey, I got to get my money in order. So I started listening to Dave Ramsey like 24/7. We started doing a budget. I was making about $5,000 a month at the time working here, which was more money than I'd ever made. So we decided to get a budget, and we paid off, quite a bit of debt. I literally did the Hormozi thing. I started driving this car, got rid of my other car. I think this car was like $2,000. Sarah and I got married. We had literally $200 in our bank account as we're moving into this apartment. We had just finished paying a deposit, so it's like all the money we had. Maybe we had a little more after that night because we opened up some wedding money, which was a blessing. But yeah, we stuck to it, and we paid off $40,000 worth of debt. And that's Dave Ramsey giving us a shout out. And that really gave me the ability to breathe. Like, okay, I don't have like all these payments coming out anymore. What do I want to do? And working with Brooke, I ended up moving up from being the shipping and logistics coordinator to doing their social media because COVID happened. And at the time, they weren't posting a ton of content. Gary V, Grant Cardone, all these people were posting, podcast videos with clips. So I started making her some videos like that. And then a lot of her clients started reaching out like, hey, how are you doing this? So I started something called Elevate Social. Okay. This was basically just a video editing agency. And we grew it, decently quick by meeting with Chris, one of our business coaches, and then signing up people on monthly retainers. I think we got it to 20K per month. But honestly, I just realized like I don't want to edit videos for people. Like the agency model just wasn't the best model. And most of the people that, were paying us $3,000 to $5,000 a month to edit their stuff just wanted more clients. So people started asking me, how are you getting clients? Right. And I realized very quickly that coaching was a much better, situation and better business model and more fun. So I started uh, doing what I used to do, trying too many things at once. So we started hustle. I started my coaching business. I was still running my agency. And I would like travel and speak here and there. This is me preaching to some people at my old Bible college, which was totally a God thing. This was the same Bible college that I left, um, you know, and went back into the world to 3 to 5 years later after serving the Lord. I got to go back and speak, and I've been back, several times. I met a mentor in this picture who sold his business for over $1 million and really began to speak into my life. But just with our ambition, things like that, we decided we should get an office space and start something called Hustle. So, as you can see here, I know I'm called to speak. I've got a mentor now, and I'm doing my own coaching on the side, right? I've got an agency, if you will, that's doing decently well. And I'm working on this new thing called Hustle. Okay. And during this season, like I knew I was called to ministry, I knew I was called to business, all these different things. As you can see, this was a really sick spot. But to be completely honest, all of it started to happen a little too quick. And I had found myself kind of back in that spot that I was, right after Bible college, where I was just like trying all these different things to, get rich, if you will. Like I had this belief that like, oh, my mentor, sold a business for $1 million. Like I can do it too, and I can do it really quick, and it's going to be easy. And I realized that I had all these spinning plates. I was juggling all these different things, like trying to pursue ministry, trying to build my coaching business, running a marketing agency, and helping him with Hustle. We opened up a co-working space, and my head just felt so clouded. I felt like full of anxiety. I didn't know what I was going to do. At the time, I was still drinking here and there. I was newly married. Our relationship was suffering because I was so busy, right? I was just busy, busy, busy. And, people would come up to the office, have a beer or two. And I just realized like, dude, this isn't me. Like, this is not what I'm called to do. Like, I literally got saved, filled with the Holy Spirit, like on fire for the Lord. And here I am, like hanging out with people. Not that they're bad people, they're amazing people, but this with a different call. It was less focused on the Holy Ghost and like believing God to like break through in my life and use me in a big way, and more about making money. That was the primary focus in that season. And I remember going back, just to the drawing board and like spending alone time with the Lord. And Sarah and I were building a house at the time because we were making decent money, like probably 15 to 20K per month. It's the most money I'd ever made before. And I realized just like, man, I'm not happy. Like I don't feel fulfilled. And I heard the Lord tell me to move back to my hometown, which at the time, like I said, we were building a house. We had the office space. We had a marketing agency, the coaching business, had Hustle, all these different things going. And our house was literally like 2 to 3 weeks away from us moving into. And I was like, all right, Lord, you're going to have to confirm it to me. So we went to visit one of our old churches in Caddo Mills, like in the middle of nowhere, Texas. And Holy Spirit wrecked both of us. And we like looked at each other after the service and we're like, we've got to move. Like, this is the Lord. So here I am with this beautiful office and, starting my coaching business, starting to get clients, as you can see there. July 8th, 2020, during the whole COVID thing, literally got my first coaching client, started making content, and the Lord's like, Brandon, this is not what I have for you. You're going to move. And it took us a while, probably a week or two, but we said, all right, Lord, we're going to do it because we know this isn't the best you have for us. So we laid it down and we moved to this house in Greenville. Okay. This was literally the house I moved into, when my parents, mom and stepdad were on drugs. I lived here with my grandparents all throughout high school. And this is the shed that was in the backyard where I actually started, making content for really the first time, the content that most of you guys probably remember. And this is me, working on the house, right? So My grandparents lived there for 40 years, then built, their dream house, whatever. But this is like what the inside looked like. So there was a ton of renovation, redid the whole front yard. The inside, the whole house basically looked like this. We repainted it, did the cabinets, all kinds of stuff. And this little shed here actually turned into the office where I started taking sales calls, because whenever I laid down my businesses, I was like, all right, Lord, I'm laying everything down. And I actually had no plan to go back into business. I was like, okay, God, like you told me to lay it down. My whole identity has been in money and business and just like pursuing selfishness, honestly. So I said, I'm done with business. I'm going to go to church. I'm going to live at this house. I'm going to, be with my wife, and I'm going to take sales calls throughout the day just as a job. And I'm going to wait until you open a door. And I had no clue, genuinely, that I would ever do business again. I wasn't even thinking about it. So I was a sales rep for about 6 months before I met this dude on the internet. So I was a sales rep for about 6 months before I met this pastor on the internet right here. And his name was Travis Ventrilla. We got on a Zoom call, and he was like, dude, I feel like a kindred spirit about you. Just everything that we both had went through is very similar. And he's like, I'm going to fly to Texas. So I remember he booked a flight literally to Dallas, and we hung out at this nice hotel. We were in the hot tub area, and we were praying. We we're like, Lord, what would you have us do? And he spoke to both of us to do something called the Kingdom Coach Challenge. And we put it together. And our first Kingdom Coach Challenge, I think we had, you know, 12 people on maybe. And one of them, was my friend. And really the Holy Spirit just broke out on that Zoom call, honestly. And, we ended up signing up several new clients that grew significantly each challenge. And then the Lord gave me the idea for the IG growth funnel. And Kingdom Coach actually grew to over 7 figures within the first 11 months. And we won this amazing, click funnel. And then Travis was like, bro, I'm called to ministry. I feel like the Lord is calling me to give you this business, which this is unheard of. Okay. This is crazy. People don't give away, businesses that do 7 figures. But Travis said, the Lord spoke to me to lay down, my percentage and just give it over to you. And then at the same time, I really felt to work with people who wanted to scale, right? So we kind of changed the branding to scale, which is what it still is. And we scaled to record months. I won another ClickFunnels award. Had, a couple masterminds, people coming over to my house, getting saved. Literally every single person that came to the mastermind got saved. We were praying. Yeah, now I have a new beautiful home. I have a son. Spending awesome times, with my clients, getting to know them. And it's been absolutely incredible. And actually, Travis, recently came back to work for me. He said, I'm totally down to serve your vision. And yeah, now he's one of our lead coaches and helps us in the sales department. And really, the Lord has just restored every challenge that I've ever walked through. We've been able to put together the best online coaching program for coaches who want to scale. People like Asen, who came into our program, who was stuck at 5K per month, now is on pace for 50K per month. Had a 7K day, 17K over the past 7 days. People like Brian, a man of God who literally went all in on our program, had hardly anything left financially after he, joined. I think it was like every dollar he had. And as you can see, had a $7,800 day, 23K for the month, only 14 days into the month, and is now doing anywhere from 40 to 50K per month. People like Tyler, who was stuck at 5K per month, now is doing over 30K per month every single month. And Talon, a man of God who's an evangelist and preaches all over the world, who's doing $272,000 a month in his online coaching business. Landon there under him, a man of God who helps Christian video agencies, scaled his offer to 50K per month. So many, many incredible stories. Andrew coaches real estate, had a 60K month, went on to do 100K in May. Giovanna, a fitness coach, she joined us at 5K per month, has had 2 back-to-back 50K months in her online fitness coaching program. And there's so many more testimonials that I don't even have time to show them to you in this video because we'd literally be here forever. And honestly, I just share all of that stuff to show you part of my story. Like, if the Lord can use me, somebody who walked through all those different things to get to where I am now, he can use you too. I literally went from being someone in the middle of nowhere, Texas, with no followers on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or YouTube, to a YouTube channel to over 22,000 subscribers. My Instagram to over 46,000. I got to freaking meet Alex Hormozi. Come on now. And now for the grand finale of this video, right? Everything I've learned through my life experience after selling over $2 million worth of online coaching, after getting to meet some of the coolest people in the space and work for them as well, after just coming back from hanging out with Alex Hormozi and Sam Ovens at the Skool Mastermind, what I've decided to do is build an online coaching business from the context of this question. What is the freaking point of a coaching business? That is what I went to school trying to figure out, because look, a coaching business isn't the same as every other online business. When I was at the Skool Games, I kept talking through, the idea of, scaling and, look at these two people in this picture. Alex sold his online coaching business for a lot of money, right? Like $40 million, maybe more. Sam Ovens sold his online coaching business. Other than these two guys, there's hardly anyone in the space who's ever sold an online coaching business. It's extremely hard to do, and you have to do a significant amount of revenue and have all types of things in order to even be able to do it, right? So the reality is, you're probably never going to build an online coaching business that someone would buy, okay? So if you can't sell it like you could a normal business, then what is the point of it, right? So are you working for a big payout one day, like a multiple where you're going to be able to exit it? No, right? So what is the point of it? And I boiled it down to really 3 things. Number 1 is to impact others, okay? Change people's lives. Like the people I showed you that flew in to Texas and hung out at my house, like their lives are totally different now, right? Number 2 is to make a great income. We could all agree with that. 50 to 60, $100,000 a month, even 20, some people would be extremely happy. And number 3 is to have freedom and fun. With a coaching business, you have great margins. You literally change people's lives every day, and you can work from anywhere in the world as long as you have Wi-Fi. Like, it's not just a pipe dream. That's literally what a coaching business allows you to do. All of these 3 things. However, a lot of us find ourselves in a rabbit hole, online coaches, right? You think that you want to make more money, so then you try and scale, but you end up in a broken model. So this is the old model. Huge team, high stress, low impact, extremely high ad spend, and you have no consistency. This is what a lot of people, under the sound of my voice right now, are experiencing. And I decided at school, I absolutely hate this. Why would you do all this stuff just to make less profit than you were even before with a business that you can't sell, right? The only thing we are doing with our coaching business is impacting others, making great income, and having freedom and fun. So why would you do all this? It doesn't make any sense, right? This is the way it should be. Instead of wanting more clients all the time, you need better clients. Instead of chasing high revenue, how much money did you do in your Stripe account this month, bro? Who freaking cares? How much profit did you make? Instead of having a big, expensive team with a ton of VAs, ton of setters, ton of sales reps, sales managers, media buyers, all these people you have on payroll, coaches, you need a lean, simple team, right? That allows you to have fun, deep relationships with your team, that people that you love hanging out with, and allows you to still be extremely profitable. Go from making some impact because you're so money driven to making more impact because you're client driven. Go from inconsistent months, 50K one month, 20K the next, 150 one month, 80K the next, to a recurring model where you can stack recurring revenue, and high ticket is just a cherry on top. From focusing so much on scaling, to focus on serving, actually caring about the humans that are paying you, and actually caring about the humans that watch your free content, right? So here is my big call to action for this video. What I want you to do is click the link down below, and I want you to join my free Skool community. In the Skool community, I've decided after hanging out with Alex at the Skool Games, I'm going to give away every freaking possible thing I can away for free. I'm going to talk to you about the offer, exactly how to build an offer. And the thing about this is my YouTube channel is amazing, but I can't systematize it as well as I can on Skool. So I'm doing a module talking about the offer, talking about how to profit first, the Skool funnel that we're using to win the Skool Games and that we're using to get high ticket clients, the IG growth funnel that so many people have already implemented and are teaching and charging $10,000 for. I'm the one that came up with it. I'm going to give it away for 10K. Joking. I'm going to give it away 100% for free. I'm going to give you the YouTube growth funnel 100% for free. I'm going to give you our sales process taught by my sales team manager. He's absolutely amazing and has scaled sales teams to over $1 million a month. And I'm going to charge you 5K for it. Just kidding. It's absolutely free. I'm going to give you the setting process that all of our clients use and we use. And guess what? It's free. I'm going to give you the recurring revenue model so you can start stacking up MRR. And guess what? I'm going to give it to you 100% for free. I'm going to give you our KPI tracking system so you know exactly what to do day in and day out in your business 100% for free. And guess what? I'm going to make sure you don't have clients come in and not get results. So we're going to give you our client success framework 100% free inside of our Skool community. So we already have 93 people waiting to be let in. We've already let in like 25. So I'm sure this number is going to be even greater. But if you want the link to join Skool absolutely free, what I want you to do is click the link down below. And if you don't follow the steps in this video, no questions asked, we're going to kick you out. So all you have to do is answer 4 simple questions. It's not so we can get anything from you. It's literally just we want to see a picture of where you're working and more about what you do so we can have a highly engaged group. So if you want to join the Skool community 100% for free and get all that cool stuff that I just showed you, the offer, marketing, funnels, setting process, sales process, client success, all that stuff, what I want you to do is click the link down below, giving it all away for free. See you guys inside.